Okay, hello. I'm here with Ben. Hello, Ben.
Hello.
The impending drop of the Infinity Gauntlet set with all its beautiful cards got us thinking, and we decided to make a few videos about our favourite artwork from all of the existing sets before Infinity Gauntlet actually drops. So we're going to have one for each of us, and each of us will choose our top 5 pieces of artwork from Dice Masters cards up to this point. And we're going to start with Ben.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that with Infinity Gauntlet, a lot of these choices will change in the top 5s because that set really is pretty. But there have been previously very pretty cards.
Yeah.
So shall I get down to it?
Yes, let's start with your number 5.
So number 5, I'm kicking it back to the old school UXM. It's a basic action card. It's Feedback. So the artwork is by John Cassidy and Laura Martin in here, and it's just a really striking image from, I think, Astonishing XMen number 9. Mm-hmm. It's just a really great image that show that I think it's very nice on the card itself, actually, because it's not quite as obvious what the sand or skulls is at first glance on the actual card, rather than the cover art as it is now. The skulls are in full focus. It's just really fitting. I love the fade to blue on the actual image itself. It's lighter at the bottom. The sun shadowing Kitty Pryde, I think, which is kind of appropriate because she's the shadow cat. And just a really fitting image for the actual ability text itself, which is deal 1 damage to your opponent for each of his characters that is knocked out. So, lots of skulls, and you're going to do some damage.
Indeed.
It's a really pretty striking image, I think.
Great choice. Okay, shall we move on to number 4?
Number 4, yes. So one of my least favorite cards from the War of Light set. It's another basic action. It's Vicious Struggle. So this artwork is by Tyler Kirkham, and I don't know what I don't think I've really paid attention to this artwork before I looked through this list. But actually, it's a really cool image. I think it's very appropriate again for the ability. These characters kind of fighting amongst themselves, especially when they're kind of on the same side. We see that a lot with Vicious Struggle, where you're dealing damage to yourself in order to win the game by dealing damage to your opponents. Mm-hmm. It shows a variety of characters. I particularly like, is it Monk, who's being stepped on by Bleeze. I think if you look at on the right-hand side,
you're good with the names.
Character in red. I've got a list of them up here. But it's actually got a lot of the characters who are in the set who are actually really good. I really like the Saint Walker in the set, although I think this yellow character, Krillo, I think his name is.
Ooh, okay. Don't know.
Archilo.
Okay.
Pardon. Wasn't in the set, but I think all the other characters appeared in the set.
Who's the little orange one? He looks like Angry Orange.
Ooh, yeah, maybe he's not in there.
The pink one is
he's
that one.
Glomulus. Glomulus is the orange guy. He is also not in the set. But yeah, no, I think they're really cool. I like the different colors. I like a lot of colors in my artwork in general. It's kind of like a modernist piece.
Lovely,
I suppose.
It really does look struggly, doesn't it?
It really does, yeah.
You can see I'm an art critic. This is from Green Lantern, the New 52, Green Lantern, the New Guardians, number 1, I think.
Yeah, and I don't really have any interest in the DC in general, but particularly Kyle Rayner. But this artwork is particularly striking and does a good job to match up with the card. Again, I think in the card it kind of looks better as well with the dark background as opposed to this front cover where you kind of lose that. So you kind of lose the glow from the rings that they're fighting for.
I totally agree. Yep. Okay, that's number 4. Shall we move on to number 3?
Yeah, so number 3 is 2 of my favorite characters, I suppose. Archnemesis. It's another basic action. I like basic action artwork, obviously, from Amazing Spider-Man. I think I like basic action artwork actually because you get a chance to see a bigger image rather than a focus on one particular character. Mm-hmm. A lot of the time when you focus on one character, you have to cut out a lot of the surrounding artwork. And yeah, this is just a really cool, evocative image of two of my favorite characters growing up reading comics. It's a shame Spider-Man isn't in there somewhere, but this would be like the trifecta of coolness. And it just kind of sums up the card again very well. That they're kind of doing this dodgy deal amongst 2 characters that's going to hopefully work out better for you than your opponent. And just in the graveyard, it's very Brooklyn. I don't know. I like it a lot.
Yeah. The irony of this one is the awful version in Thor.
Yes,
Really ugly monsters.
I know. What a shame.
I think they probably should have stuck with Daredevil.
I think that makes this card even better, right? Because this card artwork is much better, and the new artwork from the Thor is just so weird and ugly monsters.
Yeah,
that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
That this becomes much more striking. I really like the shading around the characters' faces in particular. I think it's really cool.
I think this would have made my top 5 for sure. I drew up my list, but I had way more than 5, so I'm going to let everybody else go first and then just do the ones that are left.
Choose ones. Yeah, makes sense.
Okay, so that was number 3, right?
Yes, so number 3.
Move on to number 2, which is...
It is Nitro it's from the Civil War set.
Yeah, he's cool.
Although this image actually isn't from the Civil War comic, is it?
It's from that arc, but it's not from the main story.
Yes. Yeah. No, it's from Wolverine, I believe, is hunting Nitro down, basically, because of what he did, which is basically blow up a bunch of people in a house, which is pretty cool.
Which sparks
and Nitro which sparks the whole of the Civil War, yeah. This image is particularly striking, I think. For Nitro isn't a particularly major character. In general, I mean, although his part in Civil War is a large part, he isn't particularly well known or well regarded in the Marvel universe, I don't think. But he has a cool ability, which is basically he just blows up when he wants to. And I think I was reading a bit about what happened in this comic, and he basically burns Wolverine down to cinders, and then Wolverine has to regrow himself back from a skeleton, basically. And it's just, I don't know. I think the kind of windswept look in his hair and I think the effect, the movement of the image is really strong. The wind sweeping through the ashes the Nitro has created, I think looks really good.
Yep.
And his abilities were really fitting. He was a KO character. When he KOs, he does stuff. His die was really cool. Yeah, he was a Bolt character, which I think worked quite well.
I picked the common for the image. I hope that's okay. I think the common was the best one.
The common, yeah, there was also an unblockable one I think was good, but I think they were all okay. But the common one I think is particularly the best. I really like, actually, if you go back to the previous image of him in the comic book, I think they've made it less orangey or reddish, which I think actually works better on the card. Again, I think there's a bit of an improvement from the comic. Did I say who this was by? I didn't. So the artists on this were Humberto Ramos, Carlos Cuevas, and Edgar Delgado. Really? So they did a great job. Yeah.
Good work, fellas. Okay, let me line my fingers up for the next one. Who is it? This is number 2, and we're now going for number 1. This is your
number 1.
Top.
Yes, my favorite artwork. I think. So I want to preface this by saying, giving a shout out, I think, to a lot of people's number 1s, which would be the full art Joker from the Justice League set. But this is next to him in my binder, which is the Harley Quinn, Dr. Harleen Quinzel, the full alternate art. So the artwork on this one is by Amanda Connor and Paul Mounts. And it was a promo from the World Championship in 2015. And it's been given out, I think, at a few events since then. Yeah. But I don't really like DC a lot, but I think these two are probably my favorite characters. Their relationship, especially in the animated series, is really good. And in the comic books,
it's a real beauty. This one, I think, it's nice.
Yeah, it's really pretty, really full of color and full of life. There's lots going on. I kind of like the thing. Like, I think you have a really cool showing what the comic book cover actually looked like, right? Because it was kind of
they had a hollow thing. So if you looked at it from one direction, it was her in a wedding dress or them in their wedding outfits, and from a different direction, it was on the beach having a bit of an argument, a bit of a barney.
Yep. Which is very sums up their relationship very well. And I think I like the green. Green's my favorite color, and this is very striking. Green and purple work great with the Joker. And I think that really stands out. So yeah, I think it's a brilliantly illustrated card. It really pops in the binder. It's a shame that the actual ability on the Harley Quinn wasn't much better, but it was okay. And it just looks, I think the artwork on the card actually really just vividly pops out of the binder.
It's fantastic. Yeah, it's a beautiful one. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's Ben's top 5. Thank you very much indeed, Ben. That was great. And
great.
We will be, over the next couple of weeks before Infinity Gauntlet drops, we will be doing everybody else's. So I don't know who will be next, but I guess I will go last. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and do stuff that I feel uncomfortable saying. Thank you for watching, and we will see you soon.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.